Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Haribol Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 I'm very happy to be here. Who wants me to read a verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita?
Sri Chaitanya Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Lord Chaitanya in 5 features. Adi Lila, chapter 7, text 164. Maturate patayla rupa sanatana duve senapati kaila bhakti pracharana. Lord Chaitanya dispatched the 2 generals, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, to Vrindavan to preach the Bhakti cult. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami went to Vrindavan, there was not a single temple, but by their preaching, they were gradually able to construct various temples. Sanatan Goswami constructed the Madan Mohan temple, and Rupa Goswami constructed the Govindaji temple. Similarly, their nephew Jiva Goswami constructed the Radha Damodar temple. Sri Gopal Goswami constructed the Radharaman temple. Sri Lokanath Goswami constructed the Gokulananda temple, and Shyamananda Goswami constructed the Shyamasundar temple. In this way, many temples were gradually constructed. For preaching, construction of temples is also necessary. The Goswamis not only engaged in writing books, but also constructed temples, because both are needed for preaching work. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted the cult of his Sankirtan movement to spread all over the world. Now that the International Society for Krishna Consciousness has taken up this task of preaching the cult of Lord Chaitanya, its members should not only construct temples in every town and village of the globe, but also distribute the books that have been already written and further increase the number of books. Both distribution of books and construction of temples must continue side by side in parallel lines. Srila Prabhupada King. Jai!
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me in the back? Can you get this volume increase? If you can't hear,
They can hear.
or
Maybe a little bit more.
if you can't understand, you can raise your hand. As I said, yesterday I couldn't speak at all, and I don't know how long I'll be able to do it. My mind will take over. So, this is a nice verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. How many of you have a set of Chaitanya Charitamrita in your home? And how many of you read it regularly? Actually, Krishna Kaviraj very nicely described the wonderful pastimes of the Lord. So here, Lord Chaitanya is instructing two brothers. Who are they? These two brothers were running the whole empire. The king was Nawab Hussain Shah, and he knew at that time the population in India was nearly 99% Hindu. So he wanted very popular local people to take charge of it. Rupa and Sanatan were very learned in all the languages and the scriptures. And everybody respected them very much. So the heart was not into it. So first Rupa Goswami resigned, then Sanatan Goswami resigned from communism. So Rupa and Sanatan at that time were holding the most important positions. And at that time, 500 years ago, the richest country in the world was India. And the richest kingdom of India was Bengal. So you can imagine how learned they were. And actually when Rupa Goswami resigned, he had a whole board full of gold coins. And so Lord Chaitanya instructed them to go to Vrindavan. And they went to Vrindavan and they fulfilled the Lord's objectives. What were the Lord's objectives? Write books on devotional service. Lord Chaitanya personally instructed both Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami about the process of pure devotional service. Can you hear me in the back?
Yes.
He personally instructed them. And established temples. So here in Potomac you see a nice temple being built, and they're planning to open it this year. So why do we build temples? We build temples because temples are technically a place where one goes for spiritual recovery. In the material world we see that everybody is struggling, they kind of find their happiness. But when you come to a temple which is being used properly, some people in India use the temple as a revenue-making business. But some place where pure message of God has been presented. ISKCON, Prabhupada gave us a pure message. No one can doubt the credibility of Bhagavad Gita. Can anyone say Bhagavad Gita is not real? No one can doubt the credibility of Srimad Bhagavatam. No one can doubt the authenticity of the Hare Krishna mantra. Everything that they're getting here is agreed upon even by critics, to be real and genuine. So in the temple, there should be spiritual atmosphere. So when somebody comes to the temple, he feels, oh, this is heaven on earth. Prabhupada named the Bombay project, heaven on earth. So on earth, everywhere, what do you see? You see nothing but misery. So temples are places where one goes to get spiritual rejuvenation. And he gave an example of, Prabhupada mentioned the name of the Goswamis and said, who built which temple? The Goswamis. Goswami means one who has control over mind and sense. The Goswamis were very learned. So our deities here are also known as Radha Madan Mohan. This is a very interesting story. Srila Goswami at one time was mostly running a kingdom, and his brother also. So Srila Goswami, their heart was into serving Lord Chaitanya. And earlier, Goswami had approached the Lord and said, I want to engage in service. I want to be with you. The Lord said, no. He gave the example, he said, just like a married woman who has a friend outside, she at home may act very diligently, and in mind she's thinking, when I go and see my master. So similarly, Lord Chaitanya told Rupa Goswami, you continue your job as Prime Minister, but in your mind you always think of serving Krishna. So, Srila Goswami later on also resigned. So Srila Goswami, now in his office, in his native city, he had all the facilities. But when he came to Vrindavan, and then he had almost nothing. He would take madhukari. Madhukari, you go house to house and request something to eat. So he was going house to house, and he came across a deity, which was the deity of Madan Mohan. And he saw that one Mr. Chobe had that deity. The Lord appeared to him in a dream and said that this deity, the Chobe family was so fond of the deity, they were treating the deity like an ordinary child, one of their children. So Sanatana Goswami saw that this was not correct. And then Sanatana Goswami requested Mr. Chobe, can I take this deity and worship? And Mr. Chobe said, no, he's one of my children. I'm going to give one of my children to you. Then so that night, Sanatana Goswami had a dream. And Mr. Chobe had a deity in his house, had a dream. And the dream that Mr. Chobe had, the Lord said, please give this deity to Sanatana Goswami. When he comes to your house tomorrow, Madhukari, you go house to house and just collect enough for that day. Not that you go house to house and build up a big storage. Just eat food for that day. So the Lord told Chobe, give this deity to Sanatana Goswami. And the Lord in a dream told Sanatana Goswami that go and take care of that deity and worship it to the best of your ability. So the Lord is so kind, He appears in various forms, which is known as Archa Vigraha. Archa Vigraha means a form of the Lord that appears in a deity form. There are two types of deities. Some are self-manifested, just like, for example, the Balaji deity in Tirupati, or in Gopal deity in Jaipur. They are all considered self-manifest. So, Srila Goswami had his deity. He was living in a small hut, and in front of the hut, he began to serve the Lord. He was giving the Lord dry chapatis only. One day the Lord said, Sanatan, can't you do better than this? You just give me dry chapatis every day. You give me little salt. Sanatan said, no, I will. This will distract me from bhajan. I'm here to do bhajan. So the Lord was satisfied by the offering of dry chapatis. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Pasam puspam phalam soyam kame bhaktya bhajate. One can offer me with love and devotion. A leaf, water, what else? Fruit, flower. I accept it with love, provided it is offered with love. So the question is, do we have the love and trust to serve the Lord? In our present condition stage, we don't. But if we follow this process of devotional service, then that will gradually develop. So, Srila Goswami was worshipping his deity, and the deity was satisfied just by getting dry chapatis to eat. So, this was near the Yamuna River. So there was a businessman going in a boat with a lot of salt in his boat. This man was doing salt business. His name was one Kapoor. So the businessman's boat got stuck in the mud. So the businessman was getting exactly, he was headed for Agra, and he was going to sell his merchandise over there. So he was stuck, and it was evening time. Getting dark, he was scared that the dacoits may attack. So the businessman saw that there is some light from a little distance. So he went to that hut which was being occupied by Srila Goswami. So Srila Goswami, he informed Srila Goswami about his precarious condition. So when he went back, the boat which was stuck in the mud, there were heavy waves. She started moving. So the businessman went and made a lot of money. So when he made this money, he knew this was Sanatana Goswami's grace, his deity's benediction. And he went to Sanatana Goswami, and Sanatana Goswami and told him to build a temple. And he built the famous Radha Mohan temple. The real deity is still in Vrindavan. And that's how Radha Mohan deity was established. So the Lord is so kind. He gives us all the opportunity, always the opportunity to engage in service. Sometimes the speaker benefits in any spiritual discussion. the speaker benefits, the person being spoken to benefits, and the audience benefits. So what is needed in society today is spiritual knowledge. There are many institutions that may teach you with high-tech, artificial intelligence, but is there any department that teaches us about self-realization? That we find enough. So this Krishna conscious movement is giving this most essential knowledge to society at large. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Raja Vidya Raja. This knowledge is the king of education, most important knowledge. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized 5 major activities that we should practice to execute devotional service. First he said, Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha means you associate with those who know the goal of life. Sadhu doesn't mean that it necessarily has to be a sannyasi. You have households for executing devotional service and very good preachers also. So you associate with somebody who can give you the real meaning of a sadhu, who is practicing what he preaches. If we don't practice what we preach, and then only the fools will follow us. And he should present the truth as it is, not that you concoct and give your own interpretation. So if you have the fortune to associate with a genuine sadhu, then you're on the right path. There are many people who may claim to be sadhu, but lack genuine spiritual qualities. So we associate with a sadhu. And what are the qualifications of sadhu? Who knows the famous verse from the 3rd canto? Diksha Karuni Kaha Surya Sarvadhina, which is Vasatva Santa Sadhu Sadhu Bhukina. Sadhu should be tolerant, you follow the scriptures. So if you associate with a genuine, saintly person, then what will happen? Then he'll give you the real message. Just like Prabhupada never compromised in presenting the philosophy. Even when ISKCON society was being established, Prabhupada had few American disciples in New York, and none of them had any strong commitments. So Prabhupada asked them, what should we name our society? And what did they say? International Society for God Consciousness. Prabhupada said, no, we have to be specific. He said, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And similarly, when Prabhupada started preaching, he started preaching in New York. Many people advised him, if you go ahead with your rules and regulations and sannyas clothes, nobody will come. But you should also become like us, Westerners. But Prabhupada refused to compromise. So because Krishna's word cannot be compromised. Krishna says, I'm the highest truth. Who can modify those words? So Prabhupada gave the real thing. So that's what happens when you meet a genuine sadhu. And what does the sadhu preach? What does he preach? Chant the names of God. Chanting the names of God, Namakirtan. Chanting the names of God is mentioned in all the scriptures. Even in the Bible it is said, thou shalt always chant the names of the Lord. So, chanting the names of God is something authentic. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and freely gave us what? This process of self-realization. In previous ages, there were different techniques for self-realization. For example, in Satya Yuga. Believe it or not, in Satya Yuga, the lifespan was up to 100,000 years. sages used to meditate up to 80,000 years. And what was the process of self-realization? Who knows? Meditation on the Lord. And the duration was 100,000 years. Then came the next age, which was Treta Yuga. In Treta Yuga, the process was whole yagyas in which pure ghee, pure milk, pure ingredients were to be offered. And the duration of life of the living entities was 10,000 years, 10 times less. Then came Bhava Yuga, in which the process was offering gifts to the Lord. So we made a rule. You only come to a temple for darshan, make 1 ounce of gold. You will say, we can't afford that. So in this age, meditation also is not possible. For example, even if you go on top of a mountain, planes fly over it. So you're going to have distraction. So he gave us a simple process of chanting the holy name of the Lord. You've all heard this before. I mean, one thing we should note is that ISKCON, there is not a new philosophy that takes birth every year. It's the same philosophy coming down from the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord, when he was on the planet, everything was a little auspicious. But then, as the Bhagavatam says, the Lord has departed, but he has left his teachings in the pages of the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. So what the Lord wants us to do is the Bhagavad Gita. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. What does it mean, Shri Bhagavan Vacha? Supreme Lord speak. We debate with God. The Bhagavad Gita establishes Krishna as the Supreme Lord. This is not an ISKCON manufactured thought. This is what the scriptures have to say. So, this chanting of the holy name is supported in all the scriptures. So one who is sincere, Krishna from the heart guides himself. The Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am the source of remembrance, and I am the source of forgiveness. Sarvasya hidhi sanivishto matasvata jnanapanam. I am the cause of remembrance, I am the cause of forgetfulness. So a question may arise, why did the Lord cause one to forget and one to remember? Why? There is some lottery system. For it. Use immigration. No. The Lord is in the heart. Residing in the heart, He is doing various functions. One thing is, He understands what your mind is, where your mind is. He knows what our desires are. If we want to immerse ourselves in sense enjoyment, so He'll guide us in such a way that we can get that facility. And if we see that you genuinely want spiritual life, then He'll guide you to a spiritual personality, depending upon what you want. That's the only freedom we have, to serve God or not to serve God. So, Krishna reciprocates with our surrender. So if you are in genuine sadhu association, you'll get the right association. You'll get the right knowledge. The chanting of the holy name is, where is it coming from? It's coming from the spiritual abode. The holy name is not different from the Lord. That's why you can chant day and night and not get tired. Sometimes people say, you chant the same name every day, don't you get tired? Read the Bhagavad Gita every day. How many of you read the Gita every day? So, but Gita, in fact, Every time you read it, you'll understand it better than the previous one. If you want to understand the Bhagavad Gita, of course you should go to a self-realized soul or a place where people are presenting the real philosophy. And if you practice the real philosophy, then that is aiming towards the goal, achieving the goal of life. So, this holy name is coming from the spiritual world, and it's not different from the Supreme Lord. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalam. Prabhupada was once giving a lecture in Australia, and a journalist asked him, if your Krishna consciousness is so perfect, why isn't this hall fully packed up? And Prabhupada said, when you're selling gold, only few people will buy. But when you're selling bone-cut glass, how will they buy? So this is gold. Not everybody will take to Krishna consciousness easily, because it doesn't promote sense enjoyment. So, the important thing is understanding the spirit in which the Lord gives the instruction and Arjuna accepts. People usually ask Prabhupada, what do you mean by as it is? What's different from the other Gita? This is what Prabhupada explained. So, in genuine spiritual association, we need devotee association. And this devotee association is at 3 levels. One is you associate with those who are more advanced than you. Second is you associate with those who are equal to you. And the third is, what's the third one? You associate with those who are less advanced than you. So, Bhagavatam explains that when you associate with persons who are more advanced, we should feel very happy. Because you are getting the right instruction. Just like if you may be suffering from a chronic disease, you must have been to many doctors, but the disease is still not cured. But if you get a famous doctor in that area, you feel happy. So a spiritualist is happy when you meet somebody more advanced. In the 4th canto of the Bhagavatam, you read about Dhruva Maharaj. You read how Dhruva Maharaj had undergone great austerities. Austerity is one word that the materialists hate. But spiritual philosophy is all based on some austerity. You get what you pay for. Isn't that what they say in business language? So Krishna also says the same thing in the Bhagavad Gita. So, the important point is that we should not waste our well-wishes. So, chanting the holy name of the Lord gives us, achieve the real goal of life. So therefore, the chanting of the holy name can be done by anyone. You've seen all over the world, there are Krishna Conscious Center. And even if you go to any corner, remote corner, you'll find someone chanting the holy name of the Lord. So, spiritual association, and then reading the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. Studying of these books is very important. In Prabhupada's purport that you heard today, Prabhupada says 2 things are important. Books and building temples. Building temples have their own importance, and frankly, if you see even the other religions, like Christianity, they have big churches, people have mosques. So in almost every bona fide religion, there is a place of worship. We call it temple, the Jews call it synagogue, and so on. So, temple worship is very important, and so is book reading. These books, Prabhupada said, are not ordinary books. If you read the Prabhupada books regularly, you will see that Prabhupada is presenting such deep philosophy. In the last 3 days I started reading the devotee would read the Bhagavatam first canto. You read that verse and purport, it's amazing. Prabhupada said these purports are dictated by Krishna himself through Prabhupada. That's why you find the purports so revealing and so much philosophy behind it. Religion without philosophy is waste of time. In other words, you claim you are religious, but you don't have a bona fide philosophy, then that self is no value. So in spiritual association, you get real knowledge. So when you are meeting somebody more advanced than you, then you become joyful. I was saying that Dhruva Maharaj he had observed great austerities. So finally the Lord revealed himself to him. And the Lord said, Dhruva, ask me for any benediction you want. And what did Dhruva say? He said, my dear Lord, if you want to give me any benediction, then please give me the opportunity to associate with those who are more advanced. Because if I associate with those who are more advanced, I get philosophy, how to become free from the cycle of birth and death. So we all offered all benediction. He rejected them all. Similarly, we also see in the 7th canto, Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj also had to undergo great austerity. Who was his greatest enemy? His own father. But the Lord always protected Prahlad. Rakhe Krishna Mare Ke, Mare Ke Dinare. Who Krishna wants to protect, no one can annihilate. If Krishna wants to annihilate, he can protect. So that is our philosophy. And so Prahlad Maharaj was attacked several times by his father and his demonic associates. But Krishna always protected Prahlad. So the Lord told Prahlad, because of me you underwent so many austerities, torture. Ask me for anything you want. What did Prahlad say? He said, my dear Lord, do not tempt me with any attraction. But if you want to really give me some benediction, give me the benediction that all my material desires may get smashed. Who this was humility, through Prahlad's humility, now that he had too many material desires. So the point is, devotee longs for the association those who are more advanced. And the other type of association is association with those who are equal. When you associate with those who are equal, then what do you do in spiritual life? Make friendship. And the friendship is a spiritual friendship. That is, we work together to save the Lord, to serve the Lord. We work together. So, and when you associate with those who are less advanced, then what do you display? Compassion. Compassion. What is genuine compassion? Most people think building a hospital, doing some philanthropic work is real charity. No, that is my mundane charity. The real philosophy is giving people knowledge by which they can become free from the cycle of birth and death. And that is what is presented in Prabhupada's book. These books have been appreciated by scholars all over the world. And Prabhupada has presented the Vedic philosophy as it is. So we should read these books. Of course, we distribute books also. But our goal should not be just to distribute books, also to read these books. And because of deep philosophy in them. So, devotees may somebody less advanced, they are compassionate. And compassion means giving people the real knowledge. Once Prabhupada was speaking in Rishikesh, and he was giving a lecture, the Prabhupada would often quote different scriptures, etc. But sometimes Prabhupada would also use harsh words on the material, fools. So there was a lady in the audience, American lady, who said, Swamiji, Swami should not use these harsh words, fools, rascals. So Prabhupada said, when you have a boil, a person in, what do? Blow over that boil? Or do you press the boil to get the pus out? You press the boil, isn't it? So in other words, if you want spiritual life, even if it is painful, and if you don't take it, then you're mura. Bhagavad Gita says that itself. Otherwise, if you call somebody an ass, he won't like it. But in Bhagavad Gita, the word muyu is mura. So, association is very important. These days, with the advancement of technology, you can hear about them class, how the mind is away. And but the Srila Krishna is very important. Then, what should I say? Spiritual association, and then the value of hearing and chanting. And that's included in studying the Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. Then what else? Worshipping the Lord with faith and reverence. The Lord appears in his form of Archa Vigraha. This Archa Vigraha should be considered non-different from the Lord. That's why we get pleasure in hearing it again and again. In fact, Lord Chaitanya says, one of the benefits of chanting the holy name is you experience more and more happiness. Ananda Buddhi Varnanam. Material happiness has a limit to what it can expand. But spiritual happiness has any limits? No. Prabhupada says, you stand next to the waves or next to the ocean, you will see that the waves have a limit beyond which they can't exceed. But the spiritual nectar that you get in chanting the holy name of the Lord, the nectar just goes on increasing. So, we should also worship the deity with faith and love. We should have faith that here is God manifesting himself in the deity form. During Lord Ramchandra's rule, everybody was worshipping Lord Ram. So there was one Brahmin in Ayodhya. He did not see the Lord for 30 days. Because his principle was, first I'll go and see the Lord, and then I'll eat. So for 30 days, he did not eat anything. So when the Lord came back to Ayodhya, his brother Lakshman told him, Lord, this Brahmin hasn't eaten for 30 days. Why? Because he didn't have your darshan. Then the Lord took out a deity of Lord Ram, which he had, and gave it to the Brahmin and said, worship this deity. This deity is not different from me. So, the Lord is not different from the holy name. The Lord is not different from the deity form. So the point is that if we follow a one process, then they will be practically hard. The holy name is all powerful, and the holy name is a source of real pleasure. But why is it that we are not attracted to the holy name? Initially, when we first joined, when we first hear the importance of chanting 16 rounds, in the beginning it looks impossible, isn't it? It's very, very difficult. Come up with so many excuses. Then if you continue to endeavor, And what happens? Then you can chant. Srila Gopal Goswami says in Upanishad, the holy name is sweet like sugar candy. The passion of the Lord is sweet like sugar candy. The Lord has ineffable passion. But even though they are sweet, we can't taste the sweet. We can't taste the sweetness. Why? Because we are suffering from one disease. What is that disease called? Avidya, ignorance. But then the Lord says that if you take to this chanting process, then this disease of avidya will be cured. So we are all suffering from the disease of avidya. We are all full of anarthas. I mean, it's amazing. I have 70, 75-year-old people coming and saying, please help me remove my anartha. So, because the anarthas are very deep-rooted. Once, Akbar was he was the most friendly amongst Muslim rulers with the Hindus. He had a prime minister, and he asked him, how long does this lust trouble the living entity? When will I feel that this sense of gratification desire should not be fulfilled? So Akbar Birbal said, till old age, till death. And Akbar said, really? You mean in old age also? So one day, the Prime Minister came and told the king, there's a dying man in the hospital. And when you go there, just see where his eyes are, and bring your daughter with you. So Akbar took his daughter and they went to the dying man. And then he said, just see where his eyes are going to be. And I go towards the young girl. Akbar said, I understand now. So these material desires are such that they do not leave you even old age. Once I was talking to a doctor, he said, my mother is 96 years old and she has a boyfriend. So that is the nature of material life. And till the end of our life, we just worry about things. So in the association of devotees, things change. Prabhupada went to Russia, solitude, just for 5 days. And he planted the seed, making one person a devotee. And that devotee then in turn started preaching. And there was thousands of devotees people. So, spiritual association is very important for our spiritual progress. And so is chanting and hearing. Many times the devotee is asked, what service can I do for you, Maharaj? I tell them that the only best service they can do is to chant the holy name attentively. The more concentrated you are in your chanting, the faster will be the spiritual progress. Because the faster will be your spiritual progress. So, attentive chanting means, it doesn't mean that your mind won't wander at all. Your mind may wander, but you sit down to chant your 60 rounds, do it with utmost attention. Make that your single main. So, not that you're chanting, driving a car, chanting and driving a motorcycle. You can do that, but don't include it in your 60. We do 16 rounds of attentive chanting and follow the 4 regular principles of Padre Mini that I said. You will definitely go back to, you don't have to practice any great austerity. So we're very fortunate that Prabhupada had with his message, fulfilling Lord Chaitanya's prediction. What was Lord Chaitanya's prediction? Prithivite aate jata. A day will come when every town and village of the world, people will know. People will chant the Hare Krishna mantra. For a long time, even our acharyas thought this would not be possible because Bhaktisiddhanta has sent few sannyasis to Europe to establish Krishna consciousness, but they did not succeed as expected. There was one lord of the British House of Parliament who said, "Can you make me a Brahmin?" And the sannyasi said, "Yes, but I can't follow these rules. If you give any rules, then I don't want to be a Brahmin." So there should be spiritual discipline. So if we chant, not only will we be content, but you will also be happy. And Brahma Bhuta Prasadasmana Sochati na. One who engages in the spiritual path is automatically joyful. And being joyful, he doesn't hanker or lament. Generally, you are hankering for what we don't possess. You have an ordinary car, you want to get a Tesla. So you're hankering and lamenting. As we get older, you lament for the days when you were younger. Just like your grandparents may sometimes tell you, when I was your age, I used to do this. So, hankering and lamenting. Our hankering and lamenting should be, I have wasted so many lifetimes independent of Krishna, and now I should hanker to not waste a minute. So like a brother said, a minute lost cannot be made up with the wealth of the entire world. You will lose a minute, but you may waste a minute, but with the wealth of the whole world you can't bring it back. Can you turn the clock back? Can you? No. So utilize your time and serve the Lord. Of course, if one is a householder, then naturally he has to do business or job or something. So Krishna consciousness doesn't mean that if you're a householder, you have to abandon it. And why do you have to do a job or business? Well, you have a family to support. So that is very important, that we discharge our material responsibilities also. Just like when Lord Chaitanya was in South India, he was received by a Brahmin devotee called Kurma. Kurma washed his feet and said, "I'm so fortunate the Lord has come to my house." And he said, "My dear Lord, I want to leave my family and go with you." Lord was a sannyasi. And Lord Chaitanya told Kurma, "You don't have to come with me. Just stay where you are and do the following. Chant Hare Krishna and preach the glories of chanting Hare Krishna. Study the Bhagavad Gita and preach the glories. And this way, you will always be with me and I will always be with you." So, Lord Chaitanya has simplified the process, and Prabhupada gave us the same liberal process. And if we seriously endeavor, we will help. In English they often say, God helps those who help themselves, isn't it? So Krishna helps us, and you see, we are sincerely endeavoring for spiritual life. So very happy to be here. And this Radha Madan Mohan temple is 80% complete. And we plan to open the next few months. So it's nice those who have helped. And Prabhupada once told me, we are professional beggars. You know, and those who haven't can participate in the project and thereby get a blessing from the Lord. Anyone who helps build a temple of the Lord has unlimited mercy from the Lord. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna. think the program is running a little late. Any questions? Yeah.
I have a question. His question is always.
Get your hand up first.
His question is always.
You have a question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, you were talking about the deities is not different from Lord Krishna. So we just bought some deities from market and started worshipping them. Also downloaded some pictures from internet, printed them. So is that wrong, or how is it? Will it work?
What's your question?
What I'm saying is we bought some deities, we brought some deities from market, and we started worshipping them at home without any proper installation procedure. So I want to know, is that okay, or we are doing something wrong, or is it?
That's okay, but better if you follow the procedure for the installation. But he has to have it at home. And just start worshiping that. And do Hare Krishna, Kirtan, and start worshiping that. Okay. You had a question?
No, no.
Yes.
I want to do something.
Question there.
Not sure we're getting late.
A few more minutes.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Could you speak louder? Could you all hear the class in the back? Was it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it possible that someone practices Krishna consciousness and doesn't realize that he or she is not sincere? Is it possible?
Actually, it is best to think, I'm not sincere at all. I'm the most fallen. I need all the mercy I can get. Then the Thakur says, oh, Krishna Kavira says, don't even take my name. If you take my name, all your good fortune will go away. Our philosophy is, please take my name, otherwise I'll think you are my enemy. So what do you can help that person. If you have want to correct someone, you can do it, but do it in a very gentle way, a sweet way. If you know that he has some weaknesses, take the help of someone senior to you in presenting those points. Okay, one more. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj.
Oh.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the beautiful class, Maharaj.
Go like this.
Thank you for the beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah. The question is, Maharaj, how do I improve the quality of chanting? Sometimes the mind wanders here and there. And
The mind will wander all the time, don't worry about that. Krishna says, Chanchalai Mana Krishna. You ignore the chanchal nature of the mind. And how do you improve the quality? We have to endeavor. You should always be endeavoring to improve the quality of your bhakti. Our bhakti depends upon our chanting. Chanting is the foundation. Any other question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for this beautiful class. My question was, what are the symptoms of offenseless chanting? We often refer to that we should chant offenselessly. Could you
I say attentively. And then what that I mean, chanting, don't get diverted into other things also. Now that in one hand you have a bead, and on the other hand you have doing something else. And if you do that, in material life also, if you study, if you are with some elderly person, you're very attentive.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Sometimes when we perform the devotional practices, we don't have as much taste, and it's kind of we're not able to do it from the heart as much. So how can we increase our more desire and taste for devotional service?
The solution to all problems is self-harmonic criticism. Initially, we all had no taste at all. Somebody may have come to Krishna consciousness because of distress or a greed for money. Initially, we all had no desire. But by coming in association with the sadhu may be manifested either in the person or the book sadhu. These books have made so many people into devotees. Then your life changes. So what we are doing presently, 16 hours said that, this is a way to increase our attachment. And all of you have experienced, when you practice Krishna consciousness, then you feel happy that devotional service appears beautiful, Maya appears ugly. And when you weaken it, what happens? The opposite. Maya becomes beautiful, the opposite. And devotional service becomes ugly. So the chanting, as the scriptures say, you can experience it. On days when we chant around nicely, you feel enthusiastic. Okay, yeah. The next one.
Chaitanya.
Yeah.
There's a
Hare Krishna
Maharaj.
Maharaj.
Last question.
Last person.
Thank you for the wonderful class. Maharaj, is it true that if someone pleases the spiritual master, when they leave the material body or even otherwise, they reveal the darkest secrets or whatever the most secret aspects of our spirituality to that particular disciple? And if that is
All
true,
the secret aspects of devotional service are revealed in Prabhupada's book. Many people say, I'm giving you a secret mantra. But in spiritual life, nothing is hidden. So all the secrets you need to know are there in the books. There's no real secret. Okay, thank you.